Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, and it's the 5-minute review. In today's review, we're going to talk about the Apple Plus original series Lessons in Chemistry, starring Brie Larson and Lewis Pullman. And so this was completely off my radar. Stumbled upon it just looking for something to watch on Apple TV Plus. And I was sitting with my wife on the couch, and we're like, yeah, let's give this a watch. Um, it's excellent. It's probably one of my favorite shows right now, and it's got weekly releases, so new episodes release every Friday, and we're up to episode 6 right now as the time of this recording. And Brie Larson plays the character Elizabeth Zott, who is an introvert, kind of. She exhibits autistic characteristics, and she's a scientist. She's a chemist, and we learn that she's kind of a chemist or scientist adjacent. She's not an actual scientist. And we within the first 2 episodes learn why she's not an actual scientist, but she's quite obviously the smartest person in the room. But this takes place in the 1950s, and she falls in love with Lewis Pullman's character, who is an actual scientist, Calvin Evans. And in the first 2 episodes, they experience this whirlwind romance. And it's not really a spoiler. However, it shocked the shit out of me at the end of episode 2, where Lewis dies. It's because we grow so attached to his character within the first 2 episodes, and then he dies unexpectedly, and that sets up the rest of the show. As Brie Larson is, Elizabeth Zott is pregnant, and she can't continue, and she's in this field that's dominated by males in the 1950s, where women were secretaries or housewives, and she's neither. She has no want to be either, and so she takes up cooking because, as any good chemist would, she has a knack for finding the right combinations of ingredients, which is a metaphor, right? But she becomes this fantastic cook, and she's going. And grief is a big theme in the show. Is she just can't quite get over the loss of her her beloved Calvin. But she's pregnant. She gives birth to a daughter, and she gets offered a daytime cooking show on TV, and she is very conflicted about it. She knows she's a good cook. She very much wants to be a scientist, but she understands that she may not be able to. And so she takes this route as a cook, and the show is excellent. Brie Larson, while if you watched Monday's episode, I'm not a big fan of her as Captain Marvel, but here is Elizabeth Zott, man. She's really fantastic, and we're hooked. We're glued in for the rest of the season, and I don't know if there's enough of this character to last 2 seasons, but it is a fantastic show, and so I'm going to recommend it. It's it's created by Lee Eisenberg, and I don't really know what else he's done, but it's very, very eloquently crafted. And I wish we'd gotten more out of Lewis Pullman, because he's really good in it too. And Bill Pullman would be proud, which I'm sure he is. I think he's still alive. But Lewis Pullman's very good. Asia Naomi King is also a co-star here, and she's very good as Harriet Sloan, next door, Elizabeth Zott's next door neighbor, and it's just really good. I really enjoyed it. So catch on Apple TV Plus. It's out now. New episodes every Friday. Hit the subscribe button when it pops up so you don't miss any future content here on the YouTube channel. And if you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, you can find us at Movie Draft House on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, here on YouTube. We're doing big things everywhere. And don't forget the podcast releases every Thursday on all your favorite all your favorite podcast streaming platforms. Mouthful. So don't miss out. We'll catch you next time.
Form. What you say matters.
Politics don't belong in the kitchen. A man wants his wife to make him a drink after a long day at work.
Why do you assume that his day was longer than hers? Why don't you make them drink?